Callum Ilott was 14th today, and a couple times we noticed you really inching toward the top 10 there. How would you call the day today, Callum?
Yeah, we had good pace. I really got caught out by both yellows. I was the last one or first one for Josef to pass just before the yellow came on the last two ones. So really lost out. I was running up with Palou, I think halfway through the race. So knowing where he finished, I could have had probably a little bit of a better race than we did. But yeah, it's a strong race for us, strong two races. I mean, 9 positions gained in the first one and now 10 on this second race. So good points, can't complain.
How would you rate yourself as opposed to the first year, coming back and doing this and having that much more under your belt?
I finished 11th and 12th last year. So no, I was a lot more comfortable, but of course, year by year it changes. I think the race yesterday, we weren't in a good position with the car, and I worked through it through the race to get it a bit better, and we did. Warm up, it was better, and stay was a lot more comfortable, but we just didn't have the luck on our side with the yellows today.
Well, that's Romain Grosjean on the street courses, but let's talk about the oval today. I came up and I asked you, do you still like ovals because you finished 12th? What's your answer?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Iowa is my favorite one still. I love the fact that this actually tire deck is fun, a couple of lanes that you can run, and the race is always pretty exciting. So I do like it.
You ran well early. You ran up. What put you back?
We had a really bad restart. I think there was a back marker there in front of me, and I also almost 10th spot at one restart, and that really put us on the back foot. And the last set of tires, I must say, felt very different from the rest of the day. So I don't think it would have changed to have a good restart there, but I was definitely in front of Colton at that point, which ran a good end of the race. But that put us back. Anyway, I think it was a very interesting weekend for the unready cars. We learned a lot. Obviously, it's something that we still haven't figured out compared to some other teams around here, but we're going to keep working and get again at Gateway.
I was going to say there's some Penske dominance to work out here, but at Gateway, do you feel like this weekend for the team as a whole, you did learn some things, some things going forward that for the driver can really make a difference?
Well, I can tell you that there's a lot of questions and answers we don't know yet. So it's always good when there are questions. That means you're going to work behind the scene. You're going to try to figure out the answer to those questions, and Gateway would tell us if they're a good one or not.
All right, Romain Grosjean, 12th today.
Here with Kyle Kirkwood, who finished 11th, but an eventful day for you. We saw you had a close call with Felix Rosenqvist. Any other close calls, and what was it like being in traffic today?
I had a few close calls with Felix Rosenqvist, it felt like, and one with I think all the McLaren cars, to be honest. It was hectic out there, but we had another good race. We just got undercut in one of the stops. Today was a lot harder to pass than yesterday. It felt like only one lane was working, and you're kind of just stuck in the dirty air if you're just working one lane. Every time I tried to go on the second lane, I couldn't get the car back down. So, and it looked like a lot of people were struggling with that. It wasn't only just us. So it was harder to go from 17th to 7th like we did yesterday. So I'm happy with our performance. We averaged out like 9th throughout the weekend, which I think is pretty good for us. And yeah, so pretty good overall.
11th today, 7th yesterday, like you mentioned, but you were in traffic a lot both those days. We heard Scott McLaughlin, Josef Newgarden both complain a little bit about how drivers raced around them yesterday. Did you hear any of that from them?
I didn't hear anything. No, they didn't. They never mentioned anything to me. I don't know if they're referring to me. I'm guessing they were, to be honest, because we were in a position that I was racing 2 guys in front of me and 2 guys behind me, and it was good to have the leader as a buffer between us. And granted, he's got a really fast car, and he's passing 6th place a lap down. So I don't feel bad for him because he's got an amazing race car. He's been super fast. But yeah, I don't know if it was directed at me or not, but I'm sure if it was, he'll come say something.
All right, the thoughts of Kyle Kirkwood.
I did not envision Pato O'Ward finishing 10th today. How challenging was the run today, Pato?
I don't have an explanation of what happened today. It's we obviously went the wrong way. At least that's what it seems like. Obviously, you know, the guys are going to do a set down now and really see what maybe we missed something in that, you know, transfer. But oh, man, it was like just the pure fact that we didn't end up in an accident within just ourselves or with somebody else just feels like a win. You know, it's just, I don't know. You know, you come into these weekends knowing, you know, where usually you have been in the past, and it just, yeah, just a chance to be able to kind of bounce back, and then just obviously today feels like we threw that away. I don't have an explanation for that, and I don't think any of us really know why. It felt like it was the right direction. And as you can tell, I'm just confused. Yeah, congratulations to Josef. He dominated, absolutely, destroyed everybody. Would have loved to have made him sweat a little bit and you know, fight it out with him like we have in the past. But today was just a miserable day for us.
What's your excitement level to go back to a place that you've won next, Nashville?
Can't wait. I think Nashville is a really fun place to get to. It's a really fun race, and of course I have good memories from 21 when I won the first race ever there. So can't wait to go there. Street course as well. I love street course racing. It's where we won a lot of races. So let's bring it on.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you.
An 8th place finish for David Malukas, top 10 last year as well. So it appears you like Iowa Speedway. How was your run today?
You know, it was very strong. Yesterday we went from, I'd say, 9th to 12th, I'm pretty sure, and I was very unhappy because I think we had actually a really good car with the people around us, and we just messed up strategy. But going into today, I mean, we started 3rd, but we had nothing to the guys around us. Their cars were on rails, and I feel like we actually maximized everything we could, from strategy to when do we pit in and pit out. And I mean, driving-wise, I feel like it was a 10 out of 10 performance. So I'm really happy with how today went. And overall, looking at a standpoint for the rest of the season, I think it's good. You know, we had 2 consistent finishes this weekend, and since we've had a roller coaster, it's needed for the team.
All right, thanks much, David.
And kind of bounced up and down all day. What was your assessment of the whole day?
Need to get better around here, really. Didn't have the pace, ultimately, but strategy and really strategy has kind of kept us in there. So they did a good job on the box. Car balance is better than yesterday, so we did make some slight improvements. We just need to keep going with that. Obviously, the Penske's have a pretty strong hold around this place, so whatever we can do to kind of break that, or hopefully, you know, whoever owns the track, if they're watching, repave this place, please.
Asking for it.
But no. Our Cambridge Honda was much better than yesterday, and I'm happy to get to the end of the race on well, 1 lap down, but almost on the lead lap, in a top 10 finish. It's pretty good for us for this place, I think.
I mean, I hear the frustration in your voice too, but is it also a nice challenge for you as a competitor to, man, I got to study something, I got to look more, we got to find out as a team how to beat them? Is that a good challenge?
Yeah, I mean, it's always like that in this series, right? There's never an easy win or an easy weekend to get through, and that's why this series is so great. So it's one of the tougher ones for us. It has been the last few years, so we'll continue to try and build off this setup and see if we can make it better for next year.
Really tough day yesterday for Colton, nicer day today. Lee?
Scott Dixon comes home 6th, just off the lead lap, just like yesterday. How did today compare to yesterday?
Yeah, honestly, the car was really good. So, you know, I think we kept going too long on the stints and then getting big undercuts, and that's kind of how it really hurt us, I think. I honestly don't know how we ended up so far back. So, definitely frustrating day. The first stint was really strong. You know, we got up to 3rd. We were catching 2nd place. We were right on the 3 car, and then we ended up 6th. So, yeah, we have to go back and have a look.
What is that like in these short track races where, you know, normally a lap down means you're not in the fight? That's not the case today. You're a caution away from still having a chance to win the race. How do you kind of manage that as you're looking at where you're at and if you see the leader, but no, there's still racing to do?
Yeah, definitely, you know, in this scenario, I think in this circuit, man, it happens pretty quickly. It's such a short lap time, you know, it's only 20 seconds, you know, 22 seconds throughout those long stints. So you get it wrong, you can lose, you know, a couple of seconds a lap, and it changes very quickly. So it's, before you know it, you know, the leader can be on you, or you can be the leader, you know, lapping and putting cars down. So, you know, it's definitely a fun track. It's a lot more fun when it obviously goes right, but, you know, that's not always possible.
Let's look ahead a little bit. I believe we're going to go to somewhere that it went pretty well for you the last time around, downtown Nashville in the streets. What do you expect there with what you guys have had on the streets this year and what you had last year?
Yeah, looking forward to it. You know, it's a fantastic race that, you know, IndyCar have put on for the last couple of years. You know, we'll try and keep the string of Ganassi cars winning that event 2 in a row there. Marcus the first year and then myself. So, you know, we need to get another win going here shortly. Obviously, Josef's making some ground on the championship there a little bit. But, you know, Alex has got a pretty handy lead still. So, you know, it's a fun event, a great event, and one that everybody's put a lot of hard work into, and it's definitely showed.
Enjoy weekend off. Thank you.
McLaughlin with Kevin.
You can stay seated. You worked harder than I did today, doubleheader weekend. Let's just start with this. What is the physical toll on the second half on a hot day of a doubleheader in this oval?
Kev, it's more mental more than anything. So it's
I have no idea how I finished that last stint, man. I burnt the right rear off, and I was just hanging on. It was a sprint car there, so yeah, out in the cush, having a bit of fun, but I'm really happy to bring the Expel Chevy back with 2 top 5s. You know, podium's not a bad deal. I'd love to have joined my teammates at the podium today, but we tried something different, didn't quite work.
We heard you towards the end just trying to not crash the car. So what is that like? And did you know that as you dropped back like a rock, didn't matter because that was not for position?
I'd run out of tools. I was fully stiff on my front bar. I was fully soft on my rear bar, and I was all the way to the right on my weight jack. I really just had 0 tools left, and I was just driving this thing. And it was fun. I learned a lot. It's not fun when you restart with the whole field behind you, but it is what it is. And I'm learning every lap around these ovals, and what I learned this weekend was huge, and I can't wait to come back here in the future.
You're one of the drivers that doesn't come from an oval background, but I think this is your 13th oval and your 7th top 5. What have you found to get good so quickly on this type of racing?
Oh, look, Team Penske builds great cars, and they give us the 3 absolute rocket ships, as you saw this weekend. We probably tried a little bit too hard to try and undercut Josef and Will to get in front of them with that off strategy sort of move that we did mid-race. But yeah, look, I'm very proud of the car that I drive and the people that I drive for, and yeah, it's just very lucky. I count my lucky stars, because speaking to a few of the drivers before the intros, they're a little jealous or they're like scared to go up against us, which is a nice thing at the ovals. But there's a lot of respect there for sure.
Scott, 5th place it's probably pretty hard to say anyone had the drive of the day or the weekend other than Josef Newgarden, but you can make a really strong argument for Felix Rosenqvist from 16th up to 4th. Did you surprise yourself? Did you expect to have much of a chance to be fighting for a win late in this race?
Yes and no. I mean, we've been strong here previously. I thought we all had a bit of a tough day as a team yesterday. I mean, Pato did a mega performance, but yeah, today the car was really good. I think our McLaren and Entity Data, just big thanks to them, turned the car around really good. And it was a fun race. We were 1 lap behind at one point, and from there on, we had 2 really, really good stints in the middle. The last stint was initially really good and then struggled a little bit at the end. And the last restart, I don't know. I have to look at it, but I felt like Will kind of pushed me up in the marbles. I was very lucky to finish the race, to be fair, because I was full lock, just waiting to see where I was going to end up. So yeah, never been more bummed about a 4th place. But anyways, it was a good drive, and those last lap things can end up either way, as we saw in Indy. So hell of a day for us, and glad we have some momentum going.
The reason I asked if you were surprised, because this is a backup chassis and it had not been to your liking. What did you find during this race to be able to compete?
No, I think, it's just a matter of readjusting a bunch of things. None of them are the same. So, I topped the car in Toronto, so we kind of had to restart a little bit. And I think that set us back on day 1 here. But yeah, in that sense, I was pretty surprised that we found such a leap. Yesterday I think we had a maybe top 12, top 11 car, and today we had a car to win. So that's a phenomenal turnaround. So it's huge thanks to the team. It gets gnarly out there, so I'm happy to bring it back, and wish I was on the podium though.
Well done. Equals his best oval finish of 4th.
So Lee, earlier today we talked to Alex Palou and asked him if Josef Newgarden made him nervous. I'm thinking maybe today with a 3rd place, you might have made him a little nervous.
I don't think so. He won. So, yeah, honestly, very glad to be here in the podium. It wasn't a weekend where I expected to be in the podium. The race didn't start well for us. We were struggling a lot the first couple of runs. Did have some issues with the balance, but the team put me in that position at the end. Amazing strategies, good pit stops, and a good restart at the end to finish on the podium. So, yeah, super proud about it.
Looking at the championship, obviously still well in command at this point. But was this important for you to do this well, to have a podium at Iowa?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't really expect it to be in a podium, honestly. It's a place where we struggle. We don't really have the package that we would like, and that I struggle also personally. So, yeah, got a lot of confidence today, but there's still a lot to improve. So, yeah, cannot wait for Nashville now.
He sounds like a few boxes checked off here today for Alex Palou.
Well,
Team Penske was strong today at the winner's circle, and also 2nd place today for Will Power. And I'm looking at that final restart. That was obviously key.
Yeah, it's a very good restart. We struggled massively at the beginning, and but my engineer made a really good change. Just taking wing out helped me so much. So I had a really fast car. It's like we just needed to pit a couple laps early so we could be P2 to Josef. I think we might have had a shot at him. It's the best car I've had here. I was really happy with it. Enjoyed the race. Not the first stint though, man. I was like white knuckle the whole time, but stoked to get the Bribes 5G Chevy P2. It's pretty tough to beat Josef here, but we'll do it one day. We'll get him.
Well, how tough is it in those situations to just be the driver and know you're not the strategist and they're trying to work toward the win?
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, those guys have done so well for me over the years. I mean, it's tough around here. It just, you know, you got to be real sneaky to call the pit, because if you pit, everyone will just come at the same time. So, yeah, the undercut was massive. Undercut was massive if you could do it, but that's how 6 car got up there. But yeah, mega day. I was thinking, man, we're going to be struggling to be in the top 10, but just shows how quickly that stuff can change. But yeah, stoked with all the team effort and everything. Bloody great.
Right there. I think Palou wanted to tell you that he's still here, right?
I told him he wasn't supposed to finish there, and he told me to slow down today. But man, he's done a great job. You know, there's no doubt Alex has just been an amazing driver this year. He has been since he showed up. So pretty impressive to see his performance today. And you know, I think for us, we knew we had a great car, and the pressure was there because I think we wanted to execute on it and make sure it was a great weekend. I'm happy now. When you finish the first race, it's great to have a doubleheader, but you just feel incomplete until you get through today. And to be able to come back and do it again, and I think make our car a little bit better. I'm so proud of the team, Luke, the entire group, Chad, leading the boys is just is a fantastic effort from everyone. I can't thank Hitachi. Hitachi has been with most of my victories, I think, so to be with them and have them on the car is fantastic. And Team Chevy, we almost got a repeat of that 1-2-3 for Chevy, so sorry we didn't get that done, but they were phenomenal this weekend.
Josef, 6 now at Iowa, the 1-1, if you will. You swept the weekend. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's great. I mean, it's very gratifying because, you know, I know how good our car is here. And when you show up with a car like this, you've got the pressure to just execute and get the job done. If you don't get the job done, you feel like you did something wrong. And, I certainly felt that after qualifying, but to be able to, fix that and win a couple races, it's not so much last year I'm thinking of, it's just purely this year I wanted to make sure that we could execute.
Big gain yesterday on Alex, a little more gain today, and now you take it home to Nashville. Tell us about the championship and taking that to the home front.
Well, look, I'll speak about Alex again. You know, he's a tremendous competitor. It's funny, he's actually my pickleball teammate, so we've got a little bit of a relationship, but he's great to run against. He's just one of the best that you're going to find in the world. So, I think what he's done this year is easy. It's easy to see how he's gotten the points gap. He's been tremendous. His team's been tremendous. I hope that we can close that. We've got to win more races on the 2-car to be able to do it. But there's no doubt that he's been, one of the best competitors that you can drive against. So I'm excited for the rest of the season. Who knows what will happen? This is IndyCar. Things change really quickly. So let's stick with it and see how it shapes up.
We can't wait to watch. Congratulations. 6 wins now for Josef Newgarden at the Iowa Speedway.
Well, that margin, as we talk championship points, Dave, went from 117 to 98 overnight. At one stage in this race, it was as low as 67. But with that podium, boys, he rebounds to an 80-point advantage over Josef Newgarden.
Yeah, I mean, going to Nashville, that's a total crapshoot, right? Anything can happen on the crazy streets right in the heart of downtown, the bridge, the bumps, the concrete, going to Worldwide Technology Gateway. Got to think Newgarden going to have the advantage there. And then the last few events at Portland and Laguna Seca, I think that's pretty level set. In fact, I'd say advantage Palou there.